All-American from the University of Central Oklahoma, has cultivated a legacy of excellence and championship caliber competition, developing multiple state champions, including Boo Llewellyn, a 3-time 6A state champion, and a 2-time outstanding wrestler with a career record of 141-9. Jackson Gilmore, a 2-time 6A state champion, and 2018 outstanding wrestler with a career record of 147-18. And now, Destry Lujan. The dedicated coaching staff, which we're proud to have here, Coach Cromwell, Dustin Mason, Trey Mason, has provided the mentorship and unwavering support that enables Yukon Miller wrestlers to reach their full potential. I, Brian Pillmore, do hereby proclaim today as Destry Lujan Day. I encourage everyone in the city of Yukon to join me in expressing our excitement and best wishes to you.
Destry, you get a key to the city that unlocks all kinds of things. So just go try whatever building you want.
Well, what happened to those? I mean, I got one of those once. He needs one.
I believe they call that a 3464.
At this time, we'll recess as Yukon City Council and reconvene as Yukon Municipal Authority. We'll take up the Yukon Municipal Authority consent docket. This item is placed on the agenda so the Yukon Municipal Authority, by unanimous consent, can designate those routine items they wish to be approved by one motion. Should the authority determine that any item cannot be approved by unanimous vote, that item will be removed from the consent docket and considered separately. The city manager recommends a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of March 3rd, 2026. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing no more discussion, Madam Clerk, could you please call the vote?
Wooten.
Yes.
Selby.
Yes.
Shriver.
Yes.
Zimmerman.
Yes.
Pillmore.
Yes. At this time, we will recess as Yukon Municipal Authority and reconvene as Yukon City Council. And at this time, I'll move the visitor section, item 21, to this stage of the council meeting. Do we have any visitors that would like to speak at this time? Please approach the podium, state your name and your street address, and limit your comments to 3 minutes. It must relate to the city of Yukon. Yes, you may.
Thank you. No, it's fine. Hello, my name is Paula Green. I live in Yukon, 737 Miller Drive. And I don't know if this is the appropriate time actually to ask you this, but on item 9, there was nothing from the meeting that was held on the 9th about this new business that told me, and since it's almost in my backyard, about the time and the days that they're allowed to operate. And that's what I really wanted to come and ask.
Ma'am, are you speaking about item number 9?
Item number 9.
We can take that up in regular order, and you're free
Okay.
to speak at that time.
Thank you.
Do we have any other speakers that would like to address the council related to the visitors' comment section? Mr. Bishop.
Trey Bishop, and my address is 12541 West Reno. About a year ago, I came in and you guys let me play a body cam footage for you. And it was footage of an arrest of a guy named Brock Elliott. The reason I asked for it is because I'd been told that he died in police custody, and I wanted to determine what were the circumstances, why he was arrested, what happened. When I asked for the footage, and you'll see in the papers that I've just given you, because I've given you my open record requests, they first replied that they wanted, I believe it's around $250 to redact the footage. And so I changed my request a little bit, and I asked for only body cam footage of one person, and it came out to be $90. The reason they said they wanted, excuse me, the reason they said they wanted to redact it is that there was nudity and there were domestic violence victims in the footage, which under state law is allowed. They can redact that sort of thing. So I paid the redaction fee, I looked at it, and as you guys saw, and I'll send you another link to the video if you'd like to see, there's no nudity, to be redacted in the video. I went and I spoke to both of the parent and the roommate of Brock Elliott, and there was no allegation ever of domestic violence. At the very end there of the packet that I gave you, I have an affidavit from both of those people stating that they were never alleging any domestic violence, even though the police officers were pushing them to allege such. They didn't. They said, no, absolutely not. So what was said there is an absolute falsehood. There was never a need to redact, and charging for redaction in order to dissuade people from getting public information is against the law. It's against the Open Records Act, and that's what they've done. So I would like to ask for a refund of the $90 that I paid for that footage, because that was a lie. And one more thing. Yukon Police has added to their open record requests a requirement that people upload a copy of their ID in order to ask for records. This is illegal. You can't do this. If this isn't changed very soon, I'm going to file another suit. So you guys have a good afternoon.
Thank you, Mr. Bishop. Any other comments in this visitor section? Seeing no additional comments, we'll take up the consent docket. Beginning with the Yukon City Council consent docket, this item is similarly placed to the one that we took up previously with the Yukon Municipal Authority, so that the council by unanimous consent can designate those routine items they wish to be approved by one motion. Should the council determine that any item cannot be approved by a unanimous vote, that item will be removed from the consent docket and considered separately. Item A, the minutes of the regular meeting of March 3rd, 2026. Item B, the minutes of the special meeting of March 6th, 2026. Payment of material claims in the amount of $2,917,738.40. Approval of the items on the surplus list and authorization of their sale, trade, donation, or disposal as recommended by the IT department. Approved budget amendments number 27 to 29 for fiscal year 2025-26, with the following amendment that the council has before them for an item on the budget amendment 28, which is account number 385501 381 101, which is the Freedom Fest fireworks, and the appropriated fund balance in account 3848990 for an increased amount in the appropriated fund balance of $9,000 and an increased appropriation for that fireworks show. The details of those fireworks shows are in the council packet with the correct amount there, but we just missed that one entry on that budget amendment. And those are reallocating unused administration capital improvement funds, transferring general fund resources to the economic development account, and reallocating general fund appropriations to departments. And the approval of the appointment of Mark Conine as Ward 2 representative of the Board of Adjustments to serve the remainder of the term set to expire June 30th, 2026. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I'd like to pull item 6E.
Yes. Item 6E will be pulled at this time and taken up in regular order. Again, the motion was already made for the entirety. The motion is controlled by Vice Mayor Wooten. Vice Mayor Wooten, are you willing to amend your motion to include only items A through D and F?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
And do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on those items? Seeing no more discussion, Madam Clerk, could you please call the vote?
Wooten,
Yes.
Selby,
Yes.
Shriver,
Yes.
Zimmerman,
Yes.
Pillmore.
Yes. At this time, we'll take up item E, 6E, in regular order. As I stated earlier, there's one addition to this item. Approved budget amendments number 27 to 29 for fiscal year 25-26 to reallocate unused administration capital improvement funds, transfer general fund resources to economic development, and to reallocate general fund appropriations to departments. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, I just wanted to ask, because it didn't say on there, what consultation fees were we taking from?
That I don't know. Mr. Chris, are you able to opine on that?
It just seems like every month we're doing a budget adjustment. I'm not real sure why we do budgets if we keep.
Well, we changed that process in 2024, in May of 24, June of 24. We changed the process so that the city staff cannot move. They used to be able to move funds between accounts, between departments, and between funds. And so between accounts, departments, and funds, you used to be able to move without a budget amendment between all of them except for funds. The only budget amendments that occurred previously were related to funds. We changed that in 2024. The reason we changed it is we want more transparency. We want more transparency of where budgeted amounts are moved after the initial budget is put in place. It's a pain, I know. The city staff has to prepare these papers. We have to review it and ask questions, which is an excellent process. But I think it results in the people, taxpayers, knowing where their dollars are being spent, even down to a $9,000 increase in the fireworks budget for, the 250th anniversary of the United States and 100 years of Route 66. It's great to have a big fireworks display, but it's certainly more than we budgeted in that account, in that department, in that fund. So we had to move some funds around.
Correct. And I apologize. I missed your specific question. Was it about the
consultation fees? What were they from? We were moving them into supportive organizations. What
consultant fees?
Uh-huh.
It was just general fund consultant fees. It makes up any kind of consultant
Okay,
work
so
that
it
we
wasn't a
have
specific-
done. Correct.
Okay.
It would be just any city consultant, and that was being moved over for economic development, implement micro grants. So just the ability to kind of be able to reinvest in, give the economic development we obviously didn't at the start of this budget have an economic development director. So that has shifted and changed. And so that's part of the move here. It was just an item that we had additional funds. Our consultant fees have changed and shifted throughout the year. New administration from previous budget as well. So there were additional funds there to just reallocate to that micro grant program.
And 1,050 was association conference fees. What was that from? What associations?
Which budget amendment are you on? I'm sorry.
It was on, I'm only seeing this paper. Didn't we get a couple of other ones of these? And
Yeah,
it
there were 3 pages, I believe, in the
It had
in the council pack.
350 and 700 from association and conference fees. Is that just because nobody went to conferences?
Yeah, the last one that you're talking about, which is number 29 budget amendment, there were a few series that were already over for various reasons, and so this was just to reallocate those funds.
Okay.
No additional funds in that were allocated, so we're not dipping into our reserves at all. We had some that we hadn't spent those monies. Again, administration change is a great example.
But we didn't cancel anybody's association?
Correct. No,
Okay.
ma'am. Nope.
Okay, that's what I needed. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions or discussion on item 6E? We have a motion and a second. Seeing no more discussion, Madam Clerk, could you please call the vote?
Wooten.
Yes.
Selby.
Yes.
Shriver.
Yes.
Zimmerman.
Yes.
Pillmore.
Yes. At this time, we'll take up item 7. We'll have discussion and possible action to accept and award the bid for the City of Yukon Freedom Fest 2026 Fireworks Show RFP to ARC Pyrotechnics, Inc. in the amount of $55,000 as recommended by the Parks and Rec Director. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
So we get to see a lot more things blown up.
The grand finale looks pretty awesome.
That's amazing.
July 4th and the 3rd, but the 4th is the grand finale is pretty long. I think a third of the fireworks are going to go off in like 3 minutes.
Impressive.
That's from what I read.
Mr. Wooten's going to sing the national anthem.
Absolutely.
Please, no.
Joe, you gonna join me?
Sorry.
Joe sing the national anthem.
Let's rock it, man. All right.
Duet.
All right, seeing no more discussion, Madam Clerk, can you please call the vote?
Wooten.
Yes.
Selby.
Yes.
Shriver.
Yes.
Zimmerman.
Yes.
Pillmore.
Yes. At this time, we'll have discussion and possible action to accept and award the bid for the City of Yukon Snow and Ice Removal Services RFP to Schwartz Paving Company, Inc. in the amount of $21,880 as recommended by the Public Works Director. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing no more discussion, Madam Clerk? Oh,
Good evening, everyone. Stephanie Burdine, 515 Maple. Could you just explain what this service does and why we need, just out of curiosity and just so people want to know, because obviously we want stuff, snow and stuff removed. So, I mean, that when it happens, it's a nice thing to have, but just kind of what all it
So
does.
this one in particular is proposed to be awarded to Schwartz Paving, and their subcontractor that's itemized in the contract detail that you'll see is Brewer Construction. Both companies have done a lot of work here in the city, and are trusted contractors and subcontractors. The way that this works is you look in the council packet is that there's machine and machine hours. So they itemize all the different pieces of equipment that they could potentially deploy to clear snow in our great city. And they provide that equipment, which they have. They provide that equipment by the hour. And so it lists out, hourly rates, day rates for that equipment. Sometimes people are confused, like, hey, why didn't my street get cleared? There are snow routes that are published on the city's website and that you can see through our mapping application. And those snow routes are the focus of the clearing. This estimate, Mr. City Manager, how many days or how many snow events would this particular estimate be good for?
It's for the year, so it just depends on each.
But the $22,000 or the $21,880 is that an estimate for one event?
Well, it
hard
just
to tell.
depends. Yeah, it just depends on the length.
So you guys put it out to bid with like those standard rates. It's kind of like
It's an on-call. It's called an on-call contract. They provide those amounts for the hour. We put this amount on here, but if it's a snow event that lasts 2 weeks, or if it's an ice event or whatever, then that can definitely go over that. And then obviously, if we don't have any, it doesn't get used. So it's called an on-call contract.
So it really probably in the long run saves us money to not have to have equipment that we
100%.
wouldn't, you're not using it every
use
year
it 1 to 3 times a year, and some
at
years
the
not at all.
most.
Yeah,
100%.
sometimes
Okay.
not at all.
So it's
you-
really a better way to do it than to have the equipment
Right.
ourselves for the city to own equipment. To me,
Well,
it
it
seems
kind
that
of depends
way.
on your definition of better, but obviously, if you have it and the personnel to run it, then
Well,
you
the
go-
necessity
There's still
to-
cost involved simply because of fuel and so forth. If you see, if there's a big event coming, Rodney, who's not here tonight, he makes the call. We'll call them, and then if it's a big, and they did it this year with that week that we had, they'll stage 3 road graders and 3 great big loaders at Coles, and people drive by there and see that, and that's what that is. They don't use that unless we make the call and have them go, and then they supplement our crews as they go. So it's not in lieu of our crews, it's helping our crews get through.
And then if no snow, no money spent.
100%.
Okay, see, I think that's a good way to do it for this part of the country.
And also another scenario, if it's a snow and it's not, if ice is not in, or if it's just kind of a regular fluffy snow, whatever, and our guys can handle it, then we don't call them then either. We only call them if we deem that we need their services.
Okay. Well, thank you all for explaining that. I think
bet.
that's good information for everyone to know.
Great question. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Burdine. Any other discussion on this item? Seeing no additional discussion, Madam Clerk, could you please call the vote?
Wooten.
Yes.
Selby.
Yes.
Shriver.
Yes.
Zimmerman.
Yes.
Pillmore.
Yes. This time we'll have discussion and possible action regarding a special use permit requested by MAD Repair for an auto service and repair business located at 755 Industrial Drive, following a review by the Planning Commission and their recommendation to approve. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Ma'am, did you want to address on this item?
Please.
Please state your name and address and your comment.
Paula Green, 737 Miller Drive, and I've reviewed all the planning commission records and the attached documents, but there's never anything that mentioned the days and the hours of operation that would be allowed to go on at that business. And I am the closest house to that business, so this is of concern to me.
Danielle, could you enlighten us if that is a piece of information that we've collected in the process of the PUD applicant or the special use permit application? Ma'am, if you can certainly speak after Danielle speaks.
We have not. That's not something that we normally have within the special use packets. That's just something that they'll have their normal operating hours. If it's something like let's say a construction company, then that might be something that we look into, but this is just gonna be your normal auto repair, normal business hours type of thing. But that's not normal information that we would be privy to.
Thank you.
So what does the city consider normal operating hours? Are we talking 8 to 5, Monday through Friday? Are we talking 6 o'clock? What are we talking?
I mean, I think that's an important question, especially if they're bringing in big trucks, right? I don't know what kind of repair. Yeah, it's auto repair.
This is as it was described in the council packet and the planning commission recommendation, this is classified under the land use of light automotive repair, which it does not involve body work or I believe like entire engine reconstruction. I've read that section of code because we made a few tweaks to the land use with the planning commission's work last year, I believe. But I do believe it's a good question. I don't know that we have a simple answer for that. Businesses operate at hours that they can find employees for, and when their customers want to drop off vehicles, pick up vehicles.
Well, I'm not supposed to mow my lawn before 8 a.m.
Say that again?
I'm really not supposed to mow my lawn before 8 a.m. And I don't want to wake up at 6 o'clock literally every morning because they've started working on cars. So, I mean, it is right across the street from a residential neighborhood. So,
Mr. Mayor, if I may, it's my understanding, ma'am, that this company already operates automotive shop just the next door to the east of it. Mm-hmm. So they're already operating in the vicinity just east of the building. What they're wanting to do is move one building, I think it's 500 feet to the west into that building. And the reason why they have to file this permit is that they're not grandfathered in because of the type of business. So they are already operating in the area. It's just they want to move to a different place, which is, again, about 500 feet to the west.
And I think you can mow your yard. There's no ordinance against
Yeah,
mowing.
I try not to mow too early on Saturdays, but
Okay.
in the summers and the weekdays, most people are out and about.
You get out there and mow that lawn at 5
Yeah,
a.m.
yeah. If it's light, you're allowed to. But I do think, I think,
We have noise ordinance too.
yeah, I think it's not a hard level of noise, but disturbing quietude and disturbing the peace, disturbing quietude is something that our city is concerned about and that can be addressed. It sounds like they're already operating. If you haven't necessarily heard them so far,
that's the other way from my house, though.
Okay.
I know what he's talking about.
And I
but-
could see if it was those big trucks like at Aroncu behind my house that are going beep, beep as they're backing up, but that's not the kind of
the
truck.
way that it's described in the council packet, and there's specific descriptions in our ordinances around heavy auto repair and light auto repair. I don't know if there's a medium section. I can't remember. I don't believe there is. I think it's light and heavy. Heavy is like major body work and like disassembling and reassembling engines. The light stuff is oil changes, changing out your CV drive out. It's the regular maintenance of a vehicle. And if that is, obviously if you can use a air wrench, it can be a little noisy, but I don't know. You haven't heard it so far, right?
No, but like I said, that's in the other direction down the street. That's not going to be right across from my house, my backyard like this was.
I'm not sure that we have a good answer for you there, but I would say if it's disturbing, the way our ordinance reads is disturbing quietude, then that can rise to, an issue.
Mm-hmm.
I would say we address that at that time.
Okay, so if that happens, I call these guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
They're certainly very customer oriented, and they will address the issue in accordance with our laws in our city.
And please don't think I'm picking at stuff. I've lived there 30 years.
That's a reasonable thing
You know.
to ask.
Okay, thank you
Yeah,
for your
appreciate
time.
you.
Thank you for letting me speak.
Other questions on this item? Seeing no additional comment, Madam Clerk, could you please call the vote?
Wooten,
Yes.
Selby,
Yes.
Shriver,
Yes.
Zimmerman,
Yes.
Pillmore.
Yes. This time we'll have discussion and possible action regarding approval of the supplemental and modification agreement number 1 between the City of Yukon and the State of Oklahoma Department of Transportation regarding project maintenance, financing, and a right-of-way. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on this item? Seeing no discussion, Madam Clerk, could you please call the vote?
Wooten,
Yes.
Selby,
Yes.
Shriver,
Yes.
Zimmerman,
Yes.
Pillmore,
Yes. This time we'll have discussion and possible action to approve ordinance number 1492, an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances, City of Yukon, Oklahoma, by adding a new section 74-39, misuse of the 911 emergency telephone system and false alarms, to Chapter 74, offenses and miscellaneous provisions, Article 2, offenses against public authority, providing for severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict, and declaring an emergency. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on this item?
Chief, you want to tell us on this one? Just so everyone knows.
The statute and our ordinance always allowed for the misuse or abuse of the actual 911 PSAP console. It didn't take into account people that would use a 10-digit number, non-emergency business or emergency number, and disrupt services. So we've added our 10-digit call lines to include that. What we found is we were citing an individual abusing 911 who started then dialing and interrupting service through our 10-digit. We didn't have the language that would allow us to enforce any action. Now we will have.
Very good. Thank you.
And I asked what the penalty was for this in our code ordinance. I asked the city clerk that earlier today. The penalty, based on the records that they delivered to me, is a $500 fine and $71 in fees. Any other discussion on this item? Seeing no more discussion, Madam Clerk, could you please call the vote?
Wooten,
Yes.
Selby,
Yes.
Shriver,
Yes.
Zimmerman,
Yes.
Pillmore,
Yes. At this time, we'll have discussion and possible action to approve the emergency clause of ordinance number 1492 for the preservation of peace, health, safety, and public good of the city of Yukon and inhabitants thereof, that the provisions of this ordinance be put into full force and effect. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Thank you. Any discussion on this item? I'll just mention that I believe the emergency to be, we don't want our 911 system to be abused, and we want anyone that does abuse it to have some sort of consequence to prevent that from happening in the future. I deem that to be something that's an emergency for the preservation of our health and safety. Any other discussion on this item? Seeing no more discussion, Madam Clerk, could you please call the vote?
Wooten,
Yes.
Selby,
Yes.
Shriver,
Yes.
Zimmerman,
Yes.
Pillmore,
Yes. I'm going to take up the next three in succession, and then if voted upon, we will dismiss into executive session or adjourn into executive session. At this time, we'll have discussion and possible action to enter into executive session pursuant to 25 OS 307B2 for the purpose of allowing confidential communications with the city manager concerning negotiations for the City of Yukon and the Fraternal Order of Police Lodge number 173 collective bargaining agreement for the fiscal years 26-27 and 27-28. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, Madam Clerk, will you please call the vote?
Wooten,
Yes.
Selby,
Yes.
Shriver,
Yes.
Zimmerman,
Yes.
Pillmore,
Yes. This time we'll take up item 14, have a discussion and possible action to enter into executive session pursuant to 25 OS 307B3 for the purpose of discussing the purchase or appraisal of real property as authorized by the Oklahoma Open Meeting Act. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing no more discussion, Madam Clerk, can you please call the vote?
Wooten,
Yes.
Selby,
Yes.
Shriver,
Yes.
Zimmerman,
Yes.
Pillmore,
Yes. At this time, we'll have discussion and possible action to enter into executive session pursuant to 25 OS 307B4 for the purpose of allowing confidential communications with the city attorney concerning a potential claim related to a First Amendment matter involving the city. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing no more discussion, Madam Clerk, can you please call the vote?
Wooten,
Yes.
Selby,
Yes.
Shriver,
Yes.
Zimmerman,
Yes.
Pillmore,
Yes. Mr. Chris, could you join us? And Mr. Rice will call you back in a minute. At this time, we'll consider reconvening from executive session. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing no more discussion, Madam Clerk, can you please call the vote?
Wooten.
Yes.
Selby. Shriver.
Yes.
Zimmerman.
Yes.
Pillmore.
Yes. I'll now read the minutes of the executive session. During the executive session, only the items on the agenda were discussed, no action was taken, and no votes were cast. At this time, we'll take up item 18. We'll have discussion and possible action resulting from the executive session concerning the purchase or appraisal of real property. I make a motion to direct the city manager and his staff, as well as city attorney, to request appraisals on any existing city properties, as well as any properties that the city would consider entering into a real estate contract to purchase, and directing the city manager and the staff and the city attorney and any outside counsel necessary to pursue contract discussions with potential office building negotiations in pursuit of future city property. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing no more discussion, Madam Clerk, could you please call the vote?
Wooten.
Yes.
Selby. Shriver.
Yes.
Zimmerman.
Yes.
Pillmore.
Yes. At this time, we'll take up item 19. We'll have a discussion and possible action resulting from the executive session concerning a potential claim related to a First Amendment matter involving the city. Make a motion to direct the city attorney, as well to engage expert outside counsel in responding to a letter concerning a First Amendment matter. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I know this matter was for executive session, and I'm not 100% sure how that works. Is there something, can you expand on what that First Amendment issue is, or is that still?
Due to the fact that it may lead to pending litigation, I won't make a comment at this time.
Gotcha.
But you're certainly you're open to make any comments or have any discussion, sir.
No, I was just curious what all it was, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other discussion on this item? Seeing no more discussion, Madam Clerk, could you please call the vote?
Wooten.
Yes.
Selby. Shriver.
Yes.
Zimmerman.
Yes.
Pillmore.
Yes. Madam Clerk, do we have any new business?
No, Mayor.
We took up the visitors' comments earlier. We'll move on to item number 22. Now we'll have reports from city staff and city officials, beginning with CFO Brian Chris. These staff comments are to make announcements, recognitions, etc., and provide reports. They're not intended for the conduct of city business by members of the public body. Mr. Chris, please.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just want to give you a monthly update. Again, it's going to follow a pattern you're going to be similar to, or used to seeing similar pattern. Just to go through this with you real quick. This first slide is the account balances. Again, it's a summary by fund. It includes things like claim on cash, any CDs, and then all cash equivalents that we have at present. Pretty steady at about 58.5 million in holdings as of the end of February. Sales tax collection for the month of March that we received was 1.9 million, down just slightly.
Mr. Chris, I know in the pay
Yes.
register we had, I think, give or take $500,000 that came out for the latest work associated with the wastewater treatment plant. So that would probably bring that ARPA balance down to like 1.5 million or so.
Correct, it should. We likely won't see it on this representation because this is through end of February, but yes, at the end of March.
So when do we, I know that those funds have to be expended by the end of this calendar year, but when do we believe that the remaining, say, $1.5 million will be expended? When do we think that'll happen?
I don't know that I have an accurate timeline now. I know the plans are to make sure those are spent before the end of fiscal year, but I don't have a drop dead date.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Again, down slightly, sales tax, 3%. The next slide is kind of a graph, just kind of showing those. The ones on the left are monthly receipts. Ones on the right are year to date. Again, a little bit of movement. First one is fiscal year 25-26 that we're in. Going in consecutive order from left to right is 24-25, 23-24, and then 22-23. So again, a little bit of variance, but we're not seeing any huge increases or decreases here. Use tax leveled back out. Last month was definitely an outlier. 282,000 received in the month of March. Year to date up just a little bit, 5.33%. Total collections of 3.3 million for use tax. As a reminder, that's items that are purchased outside of the city but delivered here. So you wouldn't have collected sales tax on the item initially, but would collect a use tax on those items. Again, the graphs I feel like are useful and kind of just seeing that yep, you're very welcome. The trend, if you're looking just at a numerical line, sometimes it's hard to kind of comprehend. You can see here use tax, we have seen kind of a trend up year to date, as kind of is expected with more online shopping occurring. Other taxes, gas and tobacco, 15,266 collected in March. Just as a reminder, gas excise taxes are still being withheld until we get our financial audit for the last fiscal year complete. We did get all of that from Crawford and Associates sent on to our auditors. They sent the final packet, I believe, about a week ago. So we should be getting auditors quickly so that we can get that audit completed. Year to date, down slightly, 1.42, but essentially flat, $1,200. Franchise fees, this is just the different franchises that we collect for through end of February, which 66.67% through the year. We're at 72.73. Just a reminder that telephone franchise, I know it's not a large dollar amount, but we do get that as a bigger lump sum, I believe in the month of April, if I remember right. So we'll see that number jump back up and kind of fall more in line with the others there. Revenue summary by fund. This is just within our general fund, just to show the different revenue streams that we have. Again, through that 66.67% of the fiscal year, trending pretty close to that, 65.96% on total collections within the general fund, different revenue sources. Expenditures, likewise, trending just a little over 67%, 66.67% through the year. I know we've discussed, so I won't beat a dead horse, but expenses are not always linear. There's some that are definitely front-loaded that are expensed at the beginning of the year. So I don't anticipate any difficulties in us staying within budget. And like I said, our tracking shows that we're doing a good job of managing that. Enterprise fund, this is just a brief snapshot of water, sewer, sanitation, and stormwater. Down slightly on the revenues to plan, 61%, but very much in line on the expenditures. Again, we'll continue to watch this and monitor it closely and make any necessary changes as we get through the rest of the year. We're four months left here, so. Final slide, interest earnings is always exciting. Through February of 2026, we are now over the $1 million mark. In interest collections year to date, so 1.1 million. Again, looking back to like 2024, 23, seeing some big increases there. So interest rates are still kind of trending downward slightly. So it's still really exciting to see such a large number collected. Does this have the CD accrual in it, or those are still outstanding? There are still a number of CDs that have not been realized. We did have some back in December that were reclassed that we had missed previously on capturing the interest that Caleb found, and so that number is reflected here. But we are doing it as that matures and not just kind of on a rolling basis. So there are still CDs out there we have not
It'd be
seen.
good to get a picture of those CDs, of the outstanding CDs, perhaps in your next financial update with the interest rate that is being borne, the duration or tenor of those.
Sure.
And the accrued but yet not realized interest.
Interest in those.
on
Absolutely.
those. Thank you.
We can do that.
Thank you, Mr. Chris. Any other questions on this item?
I love that last slide.
Great work.
Thank you all.
You and Caleb are doing good work. City Manager Deckard.
I'm going to have Ms. Jenny come up to the podium and make a little announcement.
All right. Oh my goodness, no pressure, right? All right, members of the council, thank you and good evening. I just wanted to remind everyone of an upcoming election that we have on April 7th. Yukon voters are going to get to decide whether or not to approve a hotel excise tax rate of 9%. We are currently at 5%, so this is not a new tax, it's just an adjustment to an existing one. So what this is it's a tax on short-term overnight stays in hotels and motels. So it's paid by people staying overnight in Yukon. It's not added to everyday purchases. In fact, this is one of the few taxes that residents will be able to vote on that they'll likely never have to pay. It's primarily paid by visitors coming into our community, not our residents. By ordinance, 100% of the funds are restricted and they can only be used for economic development, tourism, and parks and recreation. So they can't be used for general operations. Our hotel motel tax currently supports some of our festivals and community events, tourism, our parks, economic development, and even some of the things like our Main Street improvements. It matters because visitors bring new dollars to Yukon, and so this tax would allow us to reinvest more of those visitor dollars back into the community and help improve the quality of life for residents while attracting some new visitors. Just a reminder that this does not increase sales tax, property tax, or add a new tax to our residents. It just allows us to grow more without shifting the burden to local taxpayers. So thank you.
Thank you.
No,
that's-
that'll be, I believe, in August. Is that right?
August, yes, ma'am. Oh, gee, yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
No.
Thank you so much, Jenna.
you.
Appreciate that. At this time, we'll open up the floor for each councilperson to say a few words in closing. This item is reserved for announcements, recognitions, etc. It's not intended for conduct of city business by the members of the public body. Councilmember Selby.
I have several things. Welcome Mark Conine to, Thank you. I have several things. Welcome Mark Conine to the Board of Adjustments. Thank you for stepping up and being willing to serve on that. We are still looking for somebody to be on the Traffic Commission if you would like to be that person. Also, I'd like to say goodbye to Conrad. He resigned from the Progress. They did not have a party for him, and I'm not happy about it. I offered to throw him one, but he said no. And welcome to Mindy, who's already left. She is doing an amazing job, and she'll be covering all of the council information. Back in January of 2019, I attended a meeting at Trinity Church of over 200 people. And together we came together and spent an entire day brainstorming of a time when we would have one place for victims of domestic violence to go. And they didn't have to go to this office to get a restraining order, and this office, and this office. They would all be under one building. And today I was able to go and tour that facility, Cardinal Point, and it's where the old health department used to be. And it just still gives me chills that if you're a victim of domestic violence, you can go there and get everything you need: counseling, financial aid, legal aid. The police can come there. They'll do forensic interviews. It is just a dream that came true, that started with just a grassroots of people that had a dream for a place for survivors of domestic violence. And so if you get a chance, please go and visit them.
What's the name of it?
Thank you. Cardinal Point. Yeah, it's where the old Department of Health used to be. They're on Vandemet. Yeah, it is amazing.
Thank you, Councilmember Selby. Councilmember Zimmerman.
I just want to thank council and staff. I've been driving through Yukon Parkway and Vandeman Avenue, and it is really nice now. I think we might need to talk about adjusting the timing on some lights as we go, but I figure that's going to be a process. But it's great. Noticing the sidewalks there by the school are almost done too. It's real outstanding. Go through there. We've got some great things starting to happen.
Thank you, Councilmember Zimmerman. Councilmember Shriver.
I don't have nothing.
Thank you, sir. Vice Mayor Wooten.
I'm going to echo what Mr. Zimmerman says. A lot of the projects are wrapping up. A lot of them are looking very sharp. I love the sidewalks on Cornwall. That's awesome. That's going to connect eventually from 10th Street to Main Street, and that's awesome. So good work on that.
Thank you so much, Vice Mayor. Let me cover some upcoming events and programs here in Yukon in the months of March and April. The Flashlight Easter Egg Hunt is on Friday, March 27th at dark. 8 p.m. to 8:15 is for 1 to 3-year-olds. 8:15 to 8:30, 4 to 6-year-olds. 8:30 to 8:45 is for 7 to 10-year-olds. The location is at City Park behind City Splash Pool. It's free, no registration is required. Kids should bring their own flashlight and Easter basket. The bigger, the better. Yukon Senior Games, April 10th to the 18th. This one gets pretty competitive. They're held at various locations throughout Yukon. The registration fee is $15 plus $5 per event. Senior game events cover pickleball, billiards, archery, disc golf, basketball, fitness, washer pitching, cornhole, horseshoes, track and field, and creative arts. Registration is available at yukonok.gov/catalog. Thank you to all the council members that have participated in some very deep discussions. I appreciate everybody's attentiveness on both the matters taken up in open session and executive session. I visited with a citizen today and talked about our council and about the hard work of our council, our boards, authorities, and commissions. And without exception, whether we agree or not, everybody that serves on these loves Yukon. And I just want to say thank you to all the people, because they're all volunteers. As I say, it's the best and the worst unpaid job you'll ever have. And with that, we're adjourned.